Hey folks, John Oliver here, ready to take you on a journey to a land of icy mystery and unexpected hilarity. Buckle up because we're heading to Greenland. Now, you might be picturing a lush, verdant paradise bursting with greenery. You'd be wrong. Dead wrong. In fact, the name Greenland is a bigger lie than a politician's election promise. It's like calling a bald guy curly. The truth is, Greenland is an Arctic wonderland dominated by a massive ice sheet. It's a place where polar bears roam free, the northern lights dance across the sky, and you can practically smell the cold. But don't let the lack of foliage fool you. Greenland is teeming with fascinating and downright funny quirks. We're talking about a country where the national sport involves reindeer racing, where you can find more sheep than people, and where the sun takes an extended vacation for months on end. So if you're tired of the same old travel destinations, get ready for a wild ride through the land of ice and unexpected amusement. Greenland. Now let's address the elephant, or rather the giant ice sheet in the room. Why on earth is it called Greenland? Well, grab your Viking helmets and settle in for a tale of exploration, exile, and some seriously questionable marketing tactics. Our story begins with Eric the Red, a Viking with a knack for trouble and a nose for new territory. Exiled from Iceland, apparently even Vikings had their limits, Eric set sail westward and stumbled upon, you guessed it, a land covered in ice. Now, you'd think he'd call it Iceland 2.0 or the Big Freeze, but Eric, being a master of spin, opted for Greenland instead. Some historians speculate that Eric chose the name to entice settlers, painting a picture of fertile fields and verdant pastures. Others believe that a sliver of green coastline, visible during the fleeting summer months, inspired the moniker. Whatever the reason, the name stuck, and Greenland has been grappling with its misleading label ever since. But hey, let's cut Eric some slack. Back then, there were no Google Maps, no TripAdvisor reviews, no way to fact-check your travel destinations. You took your chances, armed with a trusty longship and a prayer to Thor. So, we've established that Greenland isn't exactly the Garden of Eden its name suggests. But before you write it off as an Arctic wasteland, let's melt the ice on some common misconceptions. Yes, Greenland is home to the world's second largest ice sheet, a colossal frozen expanse that could make even the most seasoned ice sculptor jealous. And yes, temperatures can plummet to levels that would make a penguin shiver. But beyond the frozen facade lies a land of surprising diversity and unexpected delights. Did you know that Greenland boasts towering mountains, pristine fjords, and even hot springs? It's true. In fact, the country's name in Greenlandic, Inuit, translates to land of the people. And trust me, the people of Greenland are as warm and welcoming as their homeland is. Well, not. They've carved out a unique way of life, adapting to the challenges of their environment with resilience, humor, and an unyielding love for their icy paradise. So get ready to ditch your preconceived notions and embrace the unexpected, because Greenland is about to shatter your expectations, one hilarious fact at a time. Now, let's talk about time, or rather Greenland's unique disregard for it. You see, in this land of extremes, the sun operates on its own schedule, much like a teenager on summer break, doing whatever it pleases. During the summer months, the sun pulls an all-nighter, refusing to set for weeks, even months on end. It's a phenomenon that can be both mesmerizing and disorienting. That's right, folks. Imagine trying to explain nighttime to a Greenlandic child in June. The concept of bedtime becomes a bit of a joke. It's like trying to convince a cat to take a bath, futile and likely to end in scratches. The sun simply refuses to cooperate. This phenomenon, known as the midnight sun, might sound romantic, but trust me, it plays havoc with your sleep cycle. Your body craves darkness to rest. Imagine trying to get a good night's rest when the sun is beaming through your window at 2 a.m. It's a challenge that requires some serious adaptation. It's enough to drive anyone to invest in some seriously heavy-duty blackout curtains. These become essential for maintaining any semblance of a normal sleep schedule. But the fun doesn't stop there. Just as you're getting used to the endless daylight, the seasons change. dramatically. Winter rolls around and the sun decides to take an extended vacation. The days grow shorter until the sun barely makes an appearance. We're talking weeks, even months of perpetual twilight where the sun barely peaks above the horizon. It's a stark contrast to the endless summer days. It's like living in a permanent state of dusk, where every day feels like the intro to a vampire movie. The atmosphere is eerie yet fascinating, but fear not, the hardy Greenlanders have adapted to this bizarre cycle, probably because they have no other choice. Their resilience is remarkable. They've embraced the darkness, literally and figuratively, and developed a culture that celebrates both the light and the shadows. Their festivals and traditions reflect this unique relationship with time. Now, let's talk about sports, because nothing says national pastime quite like strapping yourself to a sled pulled by a reindeer. Forget baseball, forget football. In Greenland, it's all about reindeer racing. That's right, folks, picture this. A bunch of burly Greenlanders, bundled up in furs, holding on for dear life as their trusty reindeer hurtle across the frozen tundra at breakneck speeds. It's like NASCAR on ice, but with more antlers and a lot less sponsorship money. Now, you might be wondering, how do you even train a reindeer to race? Well, the answer is you don't. These majestic creatures are about as interested in racing as a cat is in taking a bath. They're more likely to stop mid-race for a snack of lichen or take a detour to visit their reindeer buddies. This makes for a highly unpredictable, often hilarious sporting event. It's anyone's guess who's going to win, and frankly, the reindeer probably couldn't care less. But hey, that's the beauty of Greenland. It's a place where life is lived on nature's terms, where the animals call the shots, and where a good laugh is always guaranteed, especially when reindeer are involved. Let's move on to a topic that's sure to tantalize your taste buds or potentially make you lose your lunch traditional Greenlandic cuisine. Now, I'm not talking about Michelin star restaurants and fancy fusion dishes. We're talking about food that's as rugged and unforgiving as the landscape itself. Food that's designed to keep you warm and fueled during those long, dark winter months. Food that, well, might make you appreciate your local takeout joint a little bit more. One of the staples of the Greenlandic diet is, wait for it, whale blubber. Yes, you heard that right. The thick layer of fat that keeps whales warm in those frigid Arctic waters is considered a delicacy in Greenland. Now, I'm not here to judge anyone's culinary preferences, but I will say that whale blubber is an acquired taste, to put it mildly. It's chewy, it's oily, and it has a distinct, shall we say, oceanic flavour. Think of the fishiest thing you've ever eaten. Then multiply that by 10 and you're getting close. But hey, when in Greenland, do as the Greenlanders do, right? Just maybe pack some breath mints, for the sake of your fellow diners. Now, let's talk transportation, because getting around Greenland is not for the faint of heart or the impatient. You see, in a country where roads are about as common as a sunny day in December, you have to get creative with your commute. Forget about hopping in your car and braving rush hour traffic. In Greenland, you're more likely to find yourself hitching a ride on a dog sled, hopping on a snowmobile, or if you're feeling particularly fancy, chartering a helicopter. That's right, folks. Forget about Uber and Lyft. In Greenland, it's all about dog power and rotor blades. Imagine telling your friends, sorry, I'm running late, my dog sled team got stuck in a blizzard, or my helicopter got grounded because of a polar bear sighting. It's enough to make your daily commute seem like a walk in the park, even if that park is located in the middle of a concrete jungle. But hey, that's all part of the adventure of living in Greenland. It's a place where you have to embrace the unexpected, where your commute might involve dodging icebergs or outrunning a polar bear, and where the only traffic jam you'll encounter is a herd of reindeer crossing the frozen tundra. Okay, let's talk about everyone's favorite topic, internet speed. We live in a world of instant gratification where we can order a pizza, binge watch a season of our favorite show, or have a meltdown over a social media post, all with the click of a button. But in Greenland, things move at a different pace, especially when it comes to the internet. Forget about your fiber optic cables and high-speed downloads. In Greenland, Internet access is a precious commodity, often delivered via satellite or, wait for it, undersea cables that have to navigate a maze of icebergs and curious whales. Imagine trying to explain to a teenager in Greenland that back in the day, we had dial-up internet, where downloading a single song could take longer than a dog sled journey across the tundra. They'd probably laugh you out of the igloo, and rightfully so, but hey, there's a certain charm to living in a place where the internet isn't constantly bombarding you with notifications, where you can actually disconnect from the digital world and appreciate the beauty of your surroundings, even if those surroundings happen to be covered in ice. Just don't expect to stream the latest blockbuster movie anytime soon. You're better off bundling up and heading to the local community centre for a good old-fashioned game of charades. Let's talk fashion, darling, because even in a land where temperatures can drop lower than a politician's approval ratings, style still matters. Forget about your skinny jeans and crop tops. In Greenland, it's all about practicality, warmth, and looking fabulous while braving a blizzard. Think of it as extreme fashion, where your survival depends on your wardrobe choices. The star of the show is, of course, the parka, a thick, insulated jacket that's as ubiquitous in Greenland as reindeer and icebergs. But these aren't your average run-of-the-mill parkas. Oh no, these are works of art, often handmade with intricate embroidery, colourful beadwork, and enough fur trim to make a PETA activist faint. And don't even get me started on the boots. We're talking knee-high, fur-lined, weatherproof boots that can withstand even the most brutal Arctic conditions. Forget about Jimmy Choos. In Greenland, it's all about practicality and warmth. These boots are made for walking, or rather trudging through the snow, and that's just what they'll do. Now let me tell you a little story, a story that perfectly encapsulates the quirks and unexpected humour of Greenlandic life. Picture this, a small remote village nestled between towering fjords and glistening glaciers. The sun is shining, for once, the birds are singing, or at least they would be if it weren't so cold, and the locals are gathering at the only pub in town for a well-deserved beer after a long day of, well, whatever it is people do in a remote Greenlandic village. But as they belly up to the bar and order their favourite brew, they're met with a shocking sight. The beer taps are dry, bone dry. Panic ensues, whispers of a curse, a government conspiracy, even alien abduction fill the air. How could this be? The nearest brewery is hundreds of miles away, accessible only by dog sled or helicopter. Did someone forget to place the order? Did the shipment get lost in a blizzard, or is there something more sinister at play? The mystery of the disappearing beer becomes the talk of the village, a source of endless speculation and good-natured ribbing. The pub owner, a burly man with a beard like a polar bear, scratches his head in bewilderment. He's never seen anything like it before. Days turn into weeks, and the beer drought continues. The villagers start to get desperate. They ration their remaining supplies, sharing sips like it's liquid gold. The tension is palpable. Ideas are thrown around, from the plausible to the absurd. The entire village bands together, searching for clues and answers. A village meeting is called, and everyone attends, hoping for a solution. Finally, someone has a light bulb moment. The mystery is solved, and the village erupts in celebration. The beer delivery arrives, and the taps flow once more. The pub is full, the atmosphere is lively, and all is well in the village again. And so the Greenlandic mystery is solved, leaving behind a tale of community and resilience. Now, for all you wellness enthusiasts out there, imagine this. You're in a downward-facing dog, your body a temple of serenity, your mind as still as a frozen fjord. You inhale the crisp, clean air, feeling the stress melt away with each exhale. But as you open your eyes and gaze out the window, you're met with a sight that makes you question your sanity. The sun is shining brightly. And I don't mean just any sunshine, I'm talking about the glorious, never-ending sunshine of the Greenlandic summer, where the sun doesn't set for weeks, even months on end. Welcome to Yoga in Greenland, folks, where finding your inner peace takes on a whole new meaning. Forget about your tranquil rainforest retreats and your serene beachside meditations. In Greenland, you'll be practicing your sun salutations at midnight, meditating under the glow of the aurora borealis, and finding your zen amidst a landscape that's both breathtakingly beautiful and utterly unforgiving. It's an experience that will challenge your mind, body, and your perception of time itself. Just don't forget your eye mask and earplugs, because when the sun never sets, finding a moment of darkness can be a luxury. Now, let's delve into Greenland's fascinating history, because this land of ice and unexpected humor has a past as rich and complex as a perfectly aged whale blubber. Okay, maybe not that rich, but you get the idea. Forget everything you think you know about Vikings, those fierce warriors who plundered and pillaged their way across Europe. Their story in Greenland is a bit different. In Greenland, the Viking legacy is a tale of resilience, adaptation, and, dare I say, a touch of irony. They weren't just conquerors, they were settlers trying to make a life in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Picture this. It's the 10th century, and Eric the Red, a Viking with a knack for trouble and a name that practically screams badass, has just been banished from Iceland. His fiery temper and violent actions had finally caught up with him. Apparently, even Vikings had their limits. Eric's banishment was a turning point, not just for him, but for the history of Greenland. So Eric sets sail westward, seeking a new land to conquer, a land he dubs Greenland in a stroke of marketing genius, or perhaps a desperate attempt to convince his fellow Vikings that it wasn't a frozen wasteland. The name was meant to attract settlers, and it worked, at least for a while. And so begins the saga of the Greenlandic Vikings, a tale of survival against all odds, of adapting to a harsh and unforgiving environment, and of ultimately succumbing to the forces of nature, and perhaps a touch of bad luck. Their settlements tell a story of human endurance and ingenuity. Who knew that a bunch of burly Vikings, known for their seafaring prowess and their ability to drink mead like it's water, would struggle to survive in a land where the average temperature hovers below freezing? Their struggle was real and relentless. It's enough to make you wonder if those horned helmets were really such a good idea after all. Maybe they were more for show than practicality in the icy winds of Greenland. Now, folks, let's talk retirement. You've worked hard your entire life, put up with soul-crushing commutes, and endured countless hours of mind-numbing meetings. You deserve a break, a chance to escape the rat race and embrace a life of leisure and tranquility. But where to go? The beaches of Bali are lovely, sure, but they're a tad crowded, aren't they? And those retirement communities in Florida? Let's just say the shuffleboard scene isn't for everyone. So what if I told you there's a place where the pace of life is slower than a glacier, where the air is so fresh it'll make your lungs sing, and where your closest neighbors are more likely to be reindeer than noisy humans? That's right, folks. I'm talking about Greenland, the ultimate retirement destination for those seeking peace, quiet, and a healthy dose of adventure. Imagine waking up every morning to the sound of icebergs carving, sipping your coffee while watching whales breach in the distance, and spending your days exploring glaciers, fjords, and vast, unspoiled wilderness. It's enough to make you want to pack your bags and book a one-way ticket to the Arctic Circle, isn't it? Downsizing made easy where less is more, and you can't fit a lot on a dog sled anyway. And let's be honest, retirement is the perfect time to embrace a simpler lifestyle, to declutter your home and your life. And what better place to do that than in Greenland, where material possessions are seen as a necessity rather than a status symbol? You see, folks, in a land where you can't just hop in your car and swing by the mall, you learn to appreciate what you have and to make do with less. Forget about your walk-in closets and your garages overflowing with gadgets you never use. In Greenland, you quickly realize that the most valuable things in life aren't things at all, but experiences, relationships, and the sheer joy of being present in the moment. Plus, when you have to transport all your belongings by dog sled or helicopter, you quickly learn to prioritize the essentials. Who needs a flat-screen TV when you can watch the northern lights dance across the night sky? And let's be honest, you'll never miss that bread maker once you've tasted the warm, crusty bread baked in a traditional Greenlandic oven. A breath of fresh air, literally escaping the city smog, one icy gale at a time. Speaking of essentials, let's talk about air, shall we? that precious life-giving substance that we often take for granted, especially if we live in cities choked with smog and pollution. Well, in Greenland you can breathe easy, literally. The air is so clean, so crisp, so incredibly fresh that it'll make your lungs do a happy dance. Imagine waking up every morning to a sky so blue it hurts your eyes, breathing in air so pure it feels like you're drinking in life itself. No more coughing fits, no more wheezing, no more wondering if that grey haze hanging over the city is fog or something far more sinister. In Greenland, the only thing you'll be inhaling is the sweet scent of wildflowers, during the brief summer months, of course, the salty tang of the sea, and perhaps a hint of reindeer musk. Hey, nobody's perfect. Reconnecting with nature, your new neighbours, polar bears, whales, and the occasional reindeer. And speaking of reindeer, let's talk about wildlife, folks. Because in Greenland, you're not just retiring to a beautiful and peaceful place, you're sharing it with some of the most incredible creatures on Earth. Forget about pigeons and squirrels. Your new neighbours might include polar bears, whales, seals, musk oxen, and of course reindeer. Imagine sipping your morning coffee while watching a pod of whales swim by, or taking your afternoon stroll along a fjord and spotting a majestic polar bear in the distance, from a safe distance, of course. In Greenland, nature is your backyard, and the wildlife is as awe-inspiring as it is unpredictable. Just remember to pack your binoculars and your sense of adventure, and always be respectful of the animals and their habitat. After all, you're a guest in their home. But perhaps the most compelling reason to retire in Greenland is the chance to embrace a simpler, slower pace of life. In a world that's constantly demanding more, Greenland offers a refreshing antidote. A chance to slow down, unplug, and reconnect with what truly matters. Forget about your hectic schedules, your overflowing inboxes, and your never-ending to-do lists. In Greenland, the days are dictated by the rhythms of nature, by the ebb and flow of the tides, by the whims of the Arctic weather. It's a place where you can truly disconnect from the digital world and reconnect with yourself, with your loved ones, and with the awe-inspiring beauty that surrounds you. So, if you're ready to trade the rat race for the reindeer race, to swap your smartphone for a pair of snowshoes, and to embrace a life of adventure, tranquility, and unexpected humor, then pack your bags, folks, because Greenland awaits. So, there you have it, folks, a glimpse into the weird, wonderful, and undeniably hilarious world of Greenland. We've debunked the myth of its verdant name, explored its unique culture and traditions, and discovered why it's the perfect place to retire if you're not afraid of the dark or the occasional polar bear encounter. From reindeer racing to whale blubber delicacies, from midnight sun yoga retreats to internet speeds delivered by dog sled, Greenland is a land of endless surprises and contradictions. It's a place where you can witness the northern lights dance across the night sky one minute and find yourself stuck in a traffic jam caused by a herd of reindeer the next. It's a land where ancient Viking history collides with modern-day life, and where tradition and innovation coexist in a delicate balance, and where a good sense of humor is as essential as a warm parka. But most importantly, Greenland is a reminder that there's still wonder and humor to be found in the world, even in the most unexpected places. It's a place where you can escape the hustle and bustle of modern life, slow down, reconnect with nature, and rediscover the simple joys of existence. So if you're tired of the same old retirement destinations, if you're looking for a place that will challenge your perceptions, ignite your sense of adventure, and make you laugh out loud, even when it's minus 40 degrees, then Greenland might just be the perfect place for you. Just imagine trading your morning commute for a dog sled ride, your daily grind for a glacier hike, and your evening news for the mesmerizing dance of the northern lights. It's a retirement dream come true, albeit a slightly chilly one. And that, my friends, concludes our journey to the land of ice and unexpected hilarity. But before you go, don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment below with your favorite Greenland fact, And subscribe to our channel for more adventures in global absurdity. And hey, if you're feeling particularly inspired, maybe consider a trip to Greenland yourself. Just promise me you'll pack a good sense of humor, a warm pair of socks, and maybe a spare pair of long johns, just in case. Until next time, folks, stay curious, stay warm, and always remember that the world is a strange and wonderful place, even when it's covered in ice. John Oliver out. And don't forget to pack a sense of humor for your next adventure. Stay safe and keep exploring. Pause 7S. And as we bid adieu to our chilly journey through Greenland, remember it's not just about the destination, but the stories we gather along the way. Whether you're navigating icy terrains or discovering hidden gems, let curiosity be your compass and humor your guide. Pause 5S. A special shout out to all our subscribers and viewers. Your support warms our hearts more than any Parker ever could. Until next time, folks, stay curious, stay warm, and always remember that the world is a strange and wonderful place, even when it's covered in ice. John Oliver out. Pause 7S. And don't forget to pack a sense of humor for your next adventure. Stay safe and keep exploring. Pause 5S. And for our fellow wanderlust souls, here's a nod to our friends at European Vacation Lovers. Keep exploring, keep dreaming, and keep the adventure alive. Pause 3S. Picture of the channel. European Vacation Lovers fades in. Pause 5S. Thanks for watching, and until our next escapade, stay warm and adventurous.